I'm so glad you asked, because the process for approving these vaccines went through a couple of steps. The first was everybody knows about Operation Warp Speed, where basically they took over 40,000 people, half got placebo, half got the vaccine, and then they waited to see, double-blinded, what would happen, who would get sick, who wouldn't, how effective they were, but also what kind of side effects they get, and whether there are any long-term risks of the vaccine. And what they found was that these vaccines, the Pfizer vaccine in particular we're talking about today, overwhelmingly effective and well tolerated, with some pretty typical side effects that we all know about. So in the meantime, while they started studies on kids, we've had the opportunity to now have Pfizer vaccine into hundreds of millions of arms. So it's not even just those 40,000 people in the original study. We've been watching this now for 6 months in adults. So I want parents to first understand that. Then they also did a study with about 2,200 kids, ages 12 to 15, half got the placebo, half got the real one. They found it was 100% effective. The side effects were pretty much the same as in adults. And they didn't, they also looked at whether kids were getting infected at all. And those numbers are still coming out, but it's looking like it is highly effective and no appreciable risk. So I can't wait to get my 12-year-old vaccinated, and frankly, he can't wait either. Well, I think that's a really fantastic question, because you're right. This virus has been interesting in that, for the most part, children do not suffer from this virus the same way that adults do. But we continue to learn about the virus, and there's still a lot we don't know. But what we are seeing is that children are not immune, that teenagers can end up in the hospital, that teenagers can also get long COVID, which is something we're still learning about. And so when a parent is weighing the risks and the benefits of a vaccine, on the one hand, we have a vaccine that is safe and highly effective. And on the other hand, we have this virus that is fundamentally a bat virus that we're still learning about, but that we're seeing can have some pretty long-lasting effects. So when I make that calculation for myself and for my own child, the vaccine wins every time. The teens in the study seem to experience pretty much the same side effects at the same rate. So the typical ones are sore arm, maybe some fever, maybe some chills, some headache, and some joint aches. And typically that goes away in 24 hours and you're good to go. Well, when I got vaccinated, it was like taking a deep sigh of relief. And that's the same kind of feeling that I'm gonna have about my 12-year-old son getting his vaccine. And I think he's gonna feel the same way, because think about every day, every day, hybrid schedule. 2 days a week, I send him off to school. He could be sitting next to who knows who, and we know this is an airborne disease. So, there is risk every day. He wants to go to sleepaway camp. Getting vaccinated makes that safe and doable. He wants to hug his grandparents. Again, that makes it safe and doable. And here's the other thing. If he were to get exposed, say at camp or at school, being vaccinated himself means he's not going to have to quarantine. And so it just makes life return to sustained normalcy. And I think that's where we all want to get. Well, in general, I send people to the CDC website and also to the Washington State Department of Health website. As far as getting an appointment for your kiddos, I have an appointment with his pediatrician in a few weeks. I'd love to get it done sooner, and I think tomorrow I'm going to be hopping online and looking. I would say call your pediatrician. My biggest words are just words of reassurance that You and your children are not the first to get this vaccine. I was among the first, and I am so grateful that I did. And that if we really want to get back to normal, to sports games, to theater, to packing into classrooms, vaccines are the ticket to get there. So please get yours. It's good for yourself, your child, and the whole community.